Ladies and gentlemen, lend me your ears and your eyes. Diva Divine Light, live from Brooklyn, New York.
Know your lane and what you saying, yo. Said it with my 9 million with the dilly, yo. When I be on the mic, yes, I do my duty, yo. While up in the club, I be while in the studio. You don't wanna vibe me, nigga, really and truly, yo. My main thug nigga named Julio, he moody, yo. I'm a nigga that'll slap me with the toolie, yo. Bitch, nigga scared to death, act fruity, yo. Fuck that, nigga shorty, she a little cutie, yo. The way you shake it, make me wanna get all in the booty, yo. With no delaying for what you saying, yo.
Diva Divine Light.
Really my heart to me. Fuck me, see what you got for me. Good more than fans with my eyes to see. Still $1 in the place to be. If you really my heart to me. Fuck me, see what you got for me. Good more than fans with my eyes to see. Still $1 in the place to be. If you.
You're watching Diva, the Divine Light. A fun-loving, caring, passionate person who talks about sex, celebrity, and real-life issues, and even abuse. So hit that like button and make sure you share the show.
Really my heart to me. Fuck me, see what you got for me. Good more than fans with my eyes to see. Still $1 in the place to be. If you really my heart to me. Fuck me, see what you got for me. Good more than fans with my eyes to see. Still $1 in the place to be. If you really my heart to me. Fuck me, see what you got for me. Good more than fans with my eyes to see. Still $1 in the place to be. If you really my heart to me. Fuck me, see what you got for me. Good more than fans with my eyes to see. Still $1 in the place to be. If you.
Here comes the pitch, and it comes in wide. On the double.
Yo, 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 yo. Welcome back, guys. Welcome back. Yo, yo, yo. Welcome back, everybody. Time for part 6. Time for me to finish up this Demetri Smith book. Let's get into it. So last we left it on page 566. We are on 567. And Demetrius' quotes go like this. That tape was made at home on George Street. I recognized the room in his basement and the room decorations on the tape. I was the one who picked that place out for him to live in when he was looking for property to buy. On top of that, I was with Robert 13 years. Knowing that it was Robert Kelly on that tape, I felt somewhat let down. After reviewing the tape, General told me that the tapes were being sold all around the country. He opened the closet to show me boxes and boxes of tapes. There were copies packaged for distribution. He said that people were out on the streets throughout the country selling them. I was sad for Rob. I didn't feel he deserved that, but he was the one that made the tape. I had a clear conscience that I had nothing to do with it. I left there without a tape in my hand. General said that his money was due to arrive and he would get with me. I didn't trip on it. On occasion, General would stop by my house in Inglewood, pursuing me to be his manager. Then one day, Rob called me. I was so surprised to hear from him. My reaction was like that of a person awaiting a ransom call. You know, I got jumpy, nervous, but at the same time, I had to be cool. When I answered the phone, I almost didn't recognize his voice. Hello, I said. Demetrius, the voice said, sounding as though they were crying. Rob, what's wrong, man? I asked with a tone of urgency. I was taken back to times I was there with him and ready to stand by his side. What you need, Rob? What can I get you? I knew the porno tape of him and the young girl he urinated on while having sex with her had been circulating throughout the country. I'm an outlaw, man. I need you to come up here, he said. Rob, what can I do? I asked. I truly wish there was something I could have done for him, but there wasn't. He went on to say, get with Daryl, man. He'll take care of what you need to get here. I was living in Inglewood, and I wondered how he had gotten my phone number. Rob, I can't come up there. What is it? Talk to me, Rob, I asked. I knew how R. Kelly was and how he acted. The strain he was trying to portray to me over the phone wasn't getting to me. Man, I need you to get with Daryl, he said again, sounding as if he was crying. I shouted into the phone, hoping to get through to him, to talk to me and stop whining. Rob, man, talk to me, Rob. I yelled into a dead phone. He had hung up. I felt Rob was trying to play on my emotions, hoping that I would react to the anguish he had portrayed over the phone, which would cause me to come to his aid. R. Kelly needed to make amends to some wrongs he had done. He needed to fess up, come off the high horse he was on, and pull the team back together. We all wanted it. All the old crew, Larry, Barry, Tori, and Jomo, we all loved Rob, but he only thought of himself. I felt that Barry had an obsession with R. Kelly. He was his artist, and Barry wanted to be there for him. It was R. Kelly who made everything difficult. You think he'll call me? Barry asked. With a bit of hopeful excitement in his voice, I thought, I don't know, B. He was acting like he was crying, saying, I'm an outlaw. I need you. And then he hung up. I told Barry that Rob asked me to come down there with him. Barry was inquisitive as I was. For what? He asked. Robert never called back, but General did. This dude was in Chicago with R. Kelly. Demetrius, I was with R. Kelly when he called you. I gave him your number. He called me in Philly, and I was talking to him. I decided to come down and talk to him. General had flipped the script. He was up to no good. What are you up to, man? I asked him. Put Rob on the phone, I demanded of him. I was going to tell Rob of the snake he was keeping company with. I was going to tell him General was the one responsible for the tapes being put out. Everybody looking for tapes, and he got them. I was shocked when he was telling me he was in Chicago with Rob. Man, what are you talking about, General? Was all I asked. I didn't want a part in any type of double-cross scene. I didn't want to talk to this dude. Man, I know how you feel about R. Kelly, man. And you know, like I do, who put that tape out. And that wasn't right, he said. What are you talking about? You, the one circulating those tapes. Did you tell Robert that? I asked him. We gonna get paid out of this. This dude was crazy, I thought. Dude, who you playing with? What is wrong with you, man? I asked. Why would you lie? I asked him. Why would you tell him I knew of something I didn't? What are you trying to do? I asked him. I told him I knew about them, and I told him Barry sent someone who bought the tapes from the contacts I knew of, and that you knew of Barry's involvement with the circulation of the tapes in regards to who got them and put them out. That is, General whispered into the phone, play along with me on this, Demetrius. So I listened to General, and in my anger, I became heated. I shouted at him into the phone. Did you tell him who put the tapes out? Because remember, you brought me to a house where you had boxes of copies ready to be distributed. Did you tell him that? I asked. General was dirty as dirt could be, yet he was attempting to keep himself looking squeaky clean. I was enraged at this dude. The nerve of him trying to use me to throw blame at me for something he did. And then to try and set me up to be a part of his scheme. I had thought of setting aside my righteousness, get on the plane, and go to Chicago to set him out. General was, as Barry said of Rob, a piece of shit. General, I don't know what you're up to, but I don't want no part of it, and I'd appreciate it if you lose my number, because I bet you ain't told Rob. What he do? Promise you your record deal or something? I already knew that Barry wasn't interested in General's music, stating that he didn't feel he had what it took. Man, they said they would compensate you. Won't you just fly down here and talk to the man? He asked me if he wasn't listening to anything I said and talked like he thought I was listening to what he was saying. Man, listen, I said, if R. Kelly or Daryl want to talk to me about anything, they can come up here. You're perpetrating some crazy shit, General. I don't know why you would involve me with this. I'm out, man. And I'm gone. Let Barry know you putting his name in some shit. You snaking, man. And I ain't even trying to know where you at. I hung up the phone. Man, you ain't gonna believe this, I said. General just called after I got off the phone with you. He's downtown in Chicago with R. Kelly. I told him he's in Chicago with Rob. For what? He asked. It was some strange shit going on. I called Barry. B, I said when he answered the phone, laughing. Yeah, what's happening, man? He asked. He called to try to get me to come there, saying they would compensate me. Compensate you for what? He asked. I explained everything that General and I talked about. Barry was upset and told me he would have to call me back later. He wanted to contact his lawyers, said he was going to put an end to the bullshit that was being stirred up. Well, like I said, Demetrius, if you feel that you've got something to offer them, then that's your choice if you want to go up there. He's got them thinking you had something to do with the distribution of the sex tape that's out, I said. Well, Demetrius, that guy will pretty much try to do anything or say anything to get a record deal. It wouldn't surprise me, nor does it worry me. I know what I do every day. Well, Demetrius, that guy will pretty much try to do anything or say anything to get a record deal. It wouldn't surprise me, nor does it worry me. I know what I do every day. He can say whatever he wants. He don't know nothing about me, Barry said. Let me call you back later. We'll talk then. All right then, B. I was just letting you know I told General not to call me no more. I'll holler at you later, man. I said, all right, Demetrius. If you want to go up there to see if anything is in it for you, be careful, Barry said. I turned on the television and a news broadcast came on announcing a plane crash that took the life of Aaliyah. My God, I can still feel the pain. I was heartbroken, as I know so many others who loved her were. No, 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 I cried. Oh God, no, I cried. I could not believe the report I was hearing of her fatal accident, but I didn't want to hear it. I did not want for it to be true. In my pain, I thought about Barry, Aaliyah's parents, Mike and Diane, and her brother Rashad. The news of Aaliyah's death caused a pain in me that paused my breath. Just when things were beginning to balance, I'm hit with another natural disaster. I could not begin to imagine the pain Barry had to have been experiencing, let alone Aaliyah's parents and her brother. After Aaliyah's funeral, Barry and I still talked, but not as much. We both wondered how things might have turned out had R. Kelly not violated the family's trust. He insinuated that I more than likely would have been Aaliyah's tour manager. After 2 weeks in the county jail, I was sitting in my cell and got called for an unexpected visit. Who the heck is coming to visit? It was Daryl McDavid, R. Kelly's business manager. How did he know I was in jail? What the hell's going on? I thought. They went to California to get to me. What did I have that they wanted? I didn't have a clue. I guess with me being locked up, it was another opportunity for them to shoot another shot at me. What could I tell them that could get me out of here? Were the thoughts I began to formulate in my mind. During this time, R. Kelly had been indicted on distribution of child pornography charges. So I figured they were searching for a way to get Robert off the chopping block. Nothing had changed with Rob. He sent Daryl to try to convince me to sign a statement stating Barry Hankerson was the one who put the videotapes out. During the visit, Daryl told me Robert was willing to get me out of jail, give me some money, and have his attorneys represent me with the case I was on. They went to California to get me. Oh, I said that already. I didn't know what it was they wanted to hear from me, but I wasn't going to lie on a person. I actually didn't know anything about the distribution of the video, but if they thought I did, I was going to write it out with them as far as I could go. My trial date was coming up, and I knew if I had a good lawyer, it was possible I could get out from under this case. Daryl promised an attorney would be there on my trial date to represent me. I wasn't going to tell these cats to go away. I wanted out. My faith was willing to find a way. The preliminary was important. If I could just get the lawyer to beat my case in the preliminary hearing, Rob and his lawyers could all kiss my ass. They already knew General had taken the tapes, and that's the only part of it I knew. Robert would perform, and after that, it was all about the girls. The added crew members were there to assist Robert with recruiting girls to his apartment. And it seemed that the younger girls were the ones who always showed up at his apartment and at tour rehearsals. I was in total disagreement with Robert entertaining young girls in his apartment. And for that reason, Robert began to distance himself from me. When I would go over to his crib, the doorman would call him and tell him I was there, and he would tell him to have me wait for him in the lobby. I wasn't hanging out with Rob like I used to because we didn't see eye to eye on anything when the girls were around. I guess it was because I was always complaining about him spending so much time with young girls. I mean, I let him know that I was afraid for him and that I was only trying to protect him. He would always tell me he was working with the girls on a professional level. He said he was producing them. I began to talk to the crew about them picking young girls up for Robert, but they were only interested in trying to make a lasting impression on Robert and staying close to him. They were living in the limelight, and the women were coming to them easy. Robert was a handful, and he wanted me with him all the time, except for the times when girls came around. I used to ask Robert how old the girls were. He'd tell me that they were in his age bracket. I knew better, but I had to take it slow dealing with Robert. I couldn't get him to see the danger he was putting himself in being in the company of young girls. From that point on, I began to keep my association with Robert strictly about work. Robert was changing. He was becoming a dictator. And this was the first phase of having to deal with his acting arrogant toward me and dealing with his friends who were persistent with keeping young girls around him. Things started off like everything was going to be fine, but here it was. Every day it was some kind of drama going on in regards to the girls. If they were a little older, I probably could have gotten along better with Robert. And that is the end of that. So we're going to leave it here at part 6. Please make sure you hit that like button on your way out. Thank you very much. Subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed. Make sure you put that notification bell on all. And please make sure you like this video. And please leave your comments below. Okay? Share the video. Make sure you have respectful comments. Thank you. And your girl Diva Divine Light is out. Peace.
You are watching Diva Divine Light.
You can fuck with me if so these is red bottoms, these is bloody shoes. Hit the scoop, I can get them both. I don't want to choose, and I'm quick. Cut a little nigga off, so don't get comfortable. Look, I don't dance now, I make money move. Now gotta dance, I make money move. If I see you now, that means I don't fuck with you. I'm a boss, you a worker, bitch. I make bloody move. Now she say, gon' do what or who? Let's find out and see. Cardi B, you know where I'm at, you know where I be. Just a party, I'm there, I can play. I be in and out the game so much, I know they tired of me. Honestly,